Hello, everybody. I've been out a week. I'm already rusty.
We've been trying to get you on for the longest time, and finally we can.
Yeah, here we are,
That's
man.
what it's all about.
That's the beauty of Alamo City Comic Con, right? I mean, there's so many people here from so many walks of life, whether it's comics or movies or just nerdy things, artists. Like, I walk around here. I have so many plans, so many ideas, and then I end up just sort of walking around, meeting friends, meeting people I've done stories on, and I was like, oh yeah, I was going to go to that panel. It's for a person with ADD, it's wonderful.
Why not? Yeah, there's something to do around every corner. So yeah, there's lots of things. So what has stood out the most since you've been here?
Honestly, for me, I love cosplayers. I get a kick out of it. The creativity that people put on display.
We were talking about that earlier. Some of the stuff is, I mean, really, really good. And they make it themselves. I'm like, you're kidding. No,
I saw a guy who was dressed up as a minion, but also as Hellboy. It was a Hellboy minion. It was beautiful, just amazing, and it was totally like he had to have handlers on either side of him because he was walking along like that. That was great. Homeless Batman was great. I put a picture of that online. He was sitting down and he had a Hungry for Justice on a little piece of cardboard. That was incredible.
Nice.
So like I love things like that. I love things where someone will take a costume and I'm not going to just show up in a Batman suit. I'm going to be Hobo Batman.
Yes.
Or I'm gonna mix those things together. So I love to see that creativity on display.
One thing I haven't seen is a steampunk Batman at this con.
Yeah. Yeah, I
haven't seen that one yet, but I've seen everything else.
There was a San Antonio Deadpool that was amazing. It was an all silver and black Deadpool with a mariachi hat and a Go Spurs Go basketball jersey. And I had to get a picture with it. Oh my God, dude, you owned Alamo City Comic Con. Like that guy was a total winner.
Yeah, I mean we've been getting people coming in, and they'll be we bring them in out from the crowd, but it's been really great. It's been really great this year. Feels a little different from last year.
It does. Every Alamo City Comic Con has been different.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was it felt very congested because they didn't buy out enough space.
Right.
And then last year it was like they bought out all the space,
mm-hmm.
and then this one I feel like they've moved some things around in different ways. It's not quite as walkable as I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Last year it flowed pretty well. I could see this year's a little bit different. The walkability has changed, but the people that are here are amazing. And I think this one, the way they have it set up, the artists have really taken front and center. Whereas before it was kind of the celebrities. This year it feels like the artists have really been put on showcase. That Artist Boulevard is amazing.
It is amazing. It's some great artwork.
Really creative stuff, and it's so cool to see it in SA. This is one of those times where you get really jealous walking through because you just realize I don't have the money for all the things that I want to put on my wall. Like I saw a guy and it was little cartoon versions of comic book characters in all of their fails. And it was like the two stormtroopers from Star Wars with their heads hanging down and going, oh, those were the droids that we're looking for, and things like that. And there was one of Jar Jar Binks hanging with a chair, like he had hung himself. And it was like, oh my God, that's so dark. I want to put that on my wall.
I want it on my wall to show everybody.
But it was $20 for a print that size. I'm like, damn, I wish I had the money to support you, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, support it if you have the money. If you don't, you get to look at it at least.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing too. The best part about cons, like I said, they are a tribute to creativity, and so many people blend all of their favorite media together, and to see that on display is a really, really fun thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to go through and see all aspects of geekdom other than just comic books or sci-fi. It's just all mixing together here in San Antonio, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you hit any panels yet?
I have not hit panels yet because
Isn't that crazy? It's
know.
Saturday. It's like the end of Saturday, and like it's so hard to get to a panel.
It is.
I made it to the Hodor panel, and I made it to the Ninja Turtles panel because they were right back to back.
Nice.
And that was really great. Good to see the original April O'Neil, the original Shredder back from the 80s Ninja Turtles. The stories that they had about the doubt behind that movie when it first came out, like, was this going to work? Was the Ninja Turtle live action movie, because that had never been done before.
No. But it did. It did work out.
Yeah, it worked out great. Well, worked out to the point where they're doing panels 30 years later.
Exactly. And who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah, we're going to be doing panels on this 30 years later.
And they really put New Line Cinema on the map for a nice 10-year run there.
Yeah.
Based on that movie alone.
Wow. And you know tons about movies because you used to do movie reviews.
I did.
Back in the day,
Yeah,
didn't you?
in another life, I was a movie critic. Although I always kind of like, whenever somebody called me a movie critic, because like, I didn't really get to see a lot of movies. So my whole shtick was it was preview review. I reviewed the movies based on the trailers and said, yeah, this trailer looks good.
Yeah,
this
it
trailer looks bad.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then you get into the movie.
I had 3 minutes of
Aw,
research
damn
on
it.
it, so that's slightly more than you guys had. But it was fun.
Did
I
you-
got to do it for a few years. I enjoyed it.
Very cool. Well, JT,
Guys,
thanks a lot.
it was fun.
We got to do this again. Maybe collaborate on something else.
Yeah,
that
I'd
would
love
be
to.
awesome.
I'd love to. That's, again, the beauty of cons, man. You get to
Yes.
catch up with everybody and hang out and get some projects and some work out of it, too.
All right. I'm Vince.
I'm JT.
Geek out, SA.